Hi, I'm Jen. Welcome to the WIPlash channel. And this is my whip stash. This is just some of it. I don't have a traditional stash. I have whip stash because my stash is all tied up in whips, most of it, nearly all of it. And I say that unashamed because when I get my yarn, I want to see what it's going to be. And I have to work it up into something. Even if it's not what it's going to officially be, I have to swatch it, I have to see it, I have to feel it, touch it. Sometimes I buy yarn thinking it's going to be something, and then it doesn't end up being that something. It ends up being 5 other somethings, and eventually settles into what it's going to be. Such is the case with Greenie. You're going to meet Greenie today. She is my most worked up yarn. We'll start with Greenie out of the gate. I'm going to start with whips and not FOs. Well, you'll see this FO. I'll go ahead and show you this FO. This is my favorite FO ever, I think. It is the Love Note. Some of you may recognize it. And for you that don't know, this is my first podcast as a knitting channel. I've had a crochet channel in the past, which I abandoned because I went back to knitting. And I'm so glad that I have, because to me, knitting is more wearable. It's easier to make into wearable garments that fit and have nice drape. So this is my Love Note. And I made this out of Malabrigo Arroyo. The drape is so nice. And I love the leaf lace on it. It opened up very nicely. And I usually have to size down a needle size because I knit so loosely. And this is the, now the name is spacing me, the colorway. I think it starts with an M. If it comes to me, I'll tell you. it's their Matisse. I think it's the Matisse Blue. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, my favorite all-time knit ever. It's a tie. It's a close tie. I think it's just right above my first sweater I ever knit, which was the February lady sweater. That was years ago. So let me put these FOs aside. These other FOs. I want you to meet Greenie. I love Greenie. She's been a very bad girl. She's one of those knits that hasn't grown up yet and hasn't decided really what she wants to be. So I made an Oon sweater. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure exactly. And I don't have the pattern in here with me. I'll insert a picture of it right here. And for those of you who have never seen it, some people who, well, me particularly, I keep my whips in these hefty jumbo bags. They're not fancy bags that most knitters use because I need to see what I'm grabbing and grab and go because I have so many whips. I have over 30 whips. I'll have a whip parade for you maybe one day when I have the energy. But this is the Oon. It's E-U-N and maybe N. And I'll put the link down in the description box for you, the Ravelry link. So Greenie was formerly an Oon, but I had made the mistake of sizing down my needles without looking at the gauge. I just assumed I would need to, like I need to on almost every sweater and every knit that I do. Need to size down one needle size on about everything because I knit so much looser than other knitters. Especially like petite knits, which I love. So I had done that and it was knitting up too tight for me, especially in the round. So I had frogged it and started something else. So I am back to doing Greenie in the Oon sweater again. I don't know if you noticed the detail on the raglan increases. but the raglan goes straight into the raglan from the ribbing. So I love the raglan increases, but before I went back to the Oon, I found this other sweater, which I totally love and adore, but I don't like knitting flat, and it's a drop shoulder, and it's really, really lovely. It's called Snorlige, and it's by Elsbeth Judith. I had never heard of her before. I'm not even sure how I found it, how I heard of it. I think someone else had posted maybe the tea, the Snorlige tea. I think that's how, on their podcast. I think they had some DK weight sweaters, and they posted a link to that. Well, then this designer had a long sleeve version of it. I'll just put this here. You can see it there. So it's got this nice almost leaf lace down it, and I started that in greeny, but once you get past the armhole increases, or the increases for the shoulders, it was knit back and forth just flat. And I have a problem with greeny because greeny is Leading Men Fiber Arts held with kid silk from Drops, and when I knit flat with it, sometimes it doesn't pick up the kid silk, and that really drives me nuts. I'm a bit of a perfectionist with my knitting. They're not an exact match. The kid silk is in Parrot, and then the Leading Men Fiber Arts is called Dramaturg, T-U-R-G at the end, just because I know what that sounds like. And it's a DK weight, and it's in Charmed, I think is the colorway, and it's just like a solid green. It's a very bright green. I just love greeny, but they're not an exact match on the greens. You can see that. But I love the lace. That lace pattern is very pretty. I just don't like knitting back and forth with it. So I went back to the Oon and realized after going back to it, and I have a sweater for my husband that's the Oon in Rios, and his is on 7s, which I sized down on the needles, and didn't realize I didn't need to size down on the needles because the gauge is just right for me on 8s. So his sweater is going to fit him with 4 inches of ease, about 4 inches, thankfully, because I am well into the body in the round on his, past the armholes. And this, I put it on, I did the ribbing on 7s, and now I'm on 8s. So my plan is on the Oon, because it has the open sides, is maybe to experiment a little and do the flaps in this lace. Use the chart. I can't show you the chart because of the copyright, but to use the chart and do some of this lace, if it'll fit on the front and the back at the bottom. I've done that on a raglan before. I'll wear that in another video. It's one of my FOs, and love it, and it really worked out well. So I think that'd be a nice little sweater to have that at the bottom, and that way I get my round and round at the top, and then I don't have so much back and forth, and I have the back and forth at the bottom of the Oon anyway. And I love the open flap concept at the bottom because you get that breeziness to it, so it's not quite that heaviness feel to the sweater. It just has that openness to it. I like that. The side slits that the Oon has. So what do you guys think of that? I want your input. If not this pattern, I have another leaf lace pattern that I've done a lot, that I'm doing on another kimono cardigan that I'm designing, that I could do that may fit better if this is too wide of a repeat. It is a very wide repeat. So I think that would be pretty. I love Greenie. We'll call her a good girl for now. She's had about 10 different tries at being different things. But it is a very good workhorse yarn. If you have not tried Lehman Fiber Arts, I highly recommend that yarn. And the Kid Silk from Drops has held up. And every time I start at the same end of the ball. I just reball it and start from the same end of the ball, and it's not felted on me. The two yarns are married, I will tell you that. They're married. I've tried to separate them and just start again with just the DK, and I've gotten so far, and it's maybe 25 yards or so have separated, and then all of a sudden it wouldn't separate. Just to get the DK separated by itself, it wouldn't go back to just being just the DK. So you know, I've had to keep them together. So okay, next up we have, y'all have probably seen this. If you've seen petite knits, you have seen the Ingrid Sweater. You've probably seen tons of them on YouTube. But this is my Ingrid, and I am loving her. I really want to get her done for fall. She is in Malabrigo Rios, and surprisingly I made gauge on 6s. I didn't have to size down on my needles, which I don't know how I did that, but I swatched the full swatch. I did a full swatch just because, okay, I'm not gonna believe myself unless I do a full swatch, which I hardly ever, I don't know if I've ever done a full swatch. Maybe once or twice in my knitting career, but I mean, you got a full swatch and you're doing the full meal deal there with the diamond panel and everything, you know. So that is my Ingrid so far, and I am in the round on the body working on the diamond panel again. And I'm hoping I chose the right size. Like, I've had many false starts with this. Like, I've started it in Rios before, and Ravelry read and decided to do now the name is slipping my mind. It was Ravelry read Ranunculus, and finished the Ranunculus. Love it, but I felt like it looked like too much of a Christmassy sweater. I didn't want it to scream Christmas. I just wanted it to be suggestive of Christmas, so I could get by with wearing it winter or spring, you know. So I had started with a smaller size, thinking that was my size because it said this number. No, this sweater runs smaller. So I'm glad that I did not proceed with that sweater, and the other ones I had started in that same size, that I looked closer, and started with a bigger size this time, because I do want it to fit. I want it to be a little oversized, and I think this one's going to fit good. The only thing I wonder about are the arms, because I haven't done a try on. So once I get past the diamonds, my plan is to get a start on whatever the next section is and put it on try-on tubing and try this baby on. I'm not going to put a picture of the Ingrid up. Y'all have probably seen it. If you haven't, check it out on Ravelry. Next, and I say a lot, I'll just warn you, if that gets on your nerves, this probably is not the channel for you. I'm just going to be honest here. I say a lot. Somebody called me out on that on my other channel, so I made a smart, you know what, video and made a game out of it. Had people count how many times I said in that previous video that they called me out on it, and blocked that user. It had people count, and whoever got closest to the count won the prize. And it wasn't a little prize either. It wasn't cash, but okay. This one here I love. I found this pattern, and this would be our POW pattern. POW! If I had a cartoon bubble, I'd put it up here. POW, pattern of the week. POW. This is Lucy, y'all. Lucy is gorgeous, and their pictures do not do it justice. Oh no, I hope I'm not losing power on the camera here. It looked like it just got a little darker. The pictures do not do it justice. It calls for, it says bulky weight yarn, but some people are using drops air. It calls for an Aran weight yarn, sorry y'all. It calls for Alpaca Air by Gazal. I've never heard of that. I'm using drops air. And it calls for, and Lucy is by, oh goodness, it's a name I can't pronounce. I'm assuming the N is silent. NGO. So either the N or the G is silent. I'm just not going to pronounce that. Quynh is the last name. But just look up Lucy pullover. If you look up pullover, that's on Ravelry as a pullover. It's beautiful in the drops air. I was going to tell you the needle size, but I think it goes on a 6 because that's what I'm using, and I actually met gauge, I think, on the 6s. 6s are working for me. And I never ever thought I would put drops air on 6s. I've done, almost completed a kimono cardi on 8s, I think, or 9s. I need to do the ribbing all the way around the neck and down the fronts and sides and finish that up. I did it in drops there in the pearl gray. I never thought I would put it on 6s. I thought it would be way too tight, but it actually gives it more structure. You can see the cables, and it's oh so soft. But I love this color. It reminds me of something I wore like in 6th grade. Lavender was so popular when I was in 6th grade. 1986! It might have been 85. 85/86, somewhere around there. I'll have to think back. Goodness, it might have been 84, 85. Okay. We're getting there. Telling my age here. Kinda. Alright, next up, I was going to show 4 sweaters. I only brought 3 in here. Where's my 4th one? This is how I am. I can't even remember what the 4th one is. Ha! I don't remember. I don't remember. It's in the other room. Oh well. I'll show it next time. This is, see if you can guess. You've probably seen this one all over the place too. This is Rios. and pearl. Book club cardigan. And it's a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. It really is. I have, I'll have to look at where I'm at on my pattern, but I think I have made all my increases that I'm supposed to make for the back, if I'm remembering correctly. And I use that highlighter tape, and it works great. I use that on my charts and on my patterns. I just use it left and right. Fold the ends under after you tear it off. Fold the ends under and just pop it on there. I used to use Post-its, but they fall off, and you can't put those in your bag. They'll fall off in your bag right away. I use highlighter tape, and you can pick it up with one finger and thumb and move it down the line if you need to, if you don't use a huge piece of it. So that's what I do. And I zoom in on some charts if they're really big and the print's really small. I zoom in from my downloaded files on my phone, and I'll print a bigger section of it, like on the corners, and see just get enough of the repeat from the edge and print that section, so I can see. I wear bifocals. These are just my regular readers. If I wear bifocals, I can't see these itty bitty charts. No way. If there's 38 lines to it, I've got to blow it up. I've got to blow it up. So that's book club and Rios. I am a Rios girl. You're going to find that out very, very soon. I'm a Malabrigo girl. I love Malabrigo. Although I'm really wanting to venture out and try some more yarns. If you have some suggestions, I love kettle dye. I love variegated, but not for sweaters. But I love some, hand dyed, kettle dyed, things that are tone on tone, not too strong of a difference in color for sweaters, because I don't want to do the helical knitting. It slows me down. I'm a speed knitter. I do continental, and I'm left-handed. The left-handed thing is a whole challenge because of how I have to read a chart, and my left is right and my right is left, and that can get you all mixed up if you let it. So that can be an issue. So I don't need anything else slowing me down. I don't want to do the helical knitting. So here is a pair of socks that I made. This is the mock cable, lacy mock cable sock pattern. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And I just recently went back to sock knitting. You can see one of the first pairs of socks, the remaining sock that's left, up on that. It's like a display board. I tacked it to it. I'll show it to you up close sometime, but that was years and years ago when my daughter was like, I think she was 8 when I had first learned to knit. I had knit some socks and they fit her, but I thought because it was superwash you could put it into the dryer, and I dried them and they felted, and she lost one of the socks anyways, but it was lightly felted. She still laughs. She knits now with me, and she still laughs when she sees that sock because I still have it. But that's my Allie's sock, and I'm not going to throw it out. But these socks are for me. I haven't knit any socks for anyone else since I've gone back to sock knitting. These are to go with my Ingrid sweater, my orange one. And these are knit, and I knit these on 2.25 millimeter size 1.5 US needles, and they are in Ba yarn. The name of it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't ever pronounce it either. I'll have to get back with you on the yarn because I've gotten more of it since then, and I have like 2 other whip stashes of it. See why I have WIPlash? and why I can't remember the names of my yarns. There's just too much. So I don't remember the colorway. I call it ginger snap because it reminds me of ginger snaps that my grandpa used to love to eat. And I love this pattern. I've used this pattern several times. I've got a couple other socks that I don't have one sock syndrome. I've heard of one sock syndrome. I don't have that. My problem is I want to do another sock and another sock and another sock, and that's not my issue. I just want to see what the next one's going to look like. Maybe that's what one sock syndrome is. Is it? Can you guys tell me? Is that what one sock syndrome is? Is it you want to go on to the next sock and see what the next sock's going to look like? But my thing is I want to see what the next sock's going to look like. But like I have a red pair to go with my red ranunculus sweater. And the other red sock I've not knit yet because that sweater I'm not planning to wear till December. So there's no rush to get that other sock done yet. And I only have one pair of size 1.5 needles that I knit this sock with and that sock pattern with. So what's the use? What's the hurry? I mean, I can knit 2 or 3 other pairs before then if I want to. Right now I'm hot on the sweaters again and these little cows I'm making. But I mean, what's the rush? I don't need to jump to get that other sock done. So I wouldn't call that one sock syndrome. I'm not putting it off because I don't want to do it. It's just that I have other things I'm working on right now. So I don't think that's one sock syndrome. Maybe I'm in denial. It's my WIPlash. It's my WIPlash. Okay, so that lacy mock cable, I have taken that and made some cows with it, and I may publish this pattern because there's not one on Ravelry for it. I should put one on for you. This one is in Primavera Rios. And I'm not good at like styling cows. I don't know really how you're supposed to like smudge it. I don't know how to smudge it. So I did this one. And this one, don't make the mistake of thinking that it matches these socks because it really doesn't. But it does go with Ingrid, the Primavera. The Primavera looks kind of green, or the Ingrid, she looks kind of, well, that is the gray. Hold on. I did show you 4 sweaters. Okay, I was counting 3. I put Ingrid aside. I did show you 4 sweaters. Ingrid is in the, I wanted to say Plomo, but it's not Plomo. It's a sage green color. I can't remember the name of it either. But she's in a sage green color, and she goes with Primavera just really nicely. It's not the exact green that's in the Primavera, but it's really sets it off. It looks good with it. I like them together. And there's so many colors in the Primavera that they look really nice. I like them. I think it makes this green look more fall and less spring. And I got some tan yarn. I should have brought that in here to make some socks to wear with Ingrid and this. And then I also will call this an acquisition. Got this Arco Iris to wear with Ingrid in the spring for some socks in the spring. That picks up on Ingrid's green. So Ingrid is going to get a lot of wear after as much as I wanted to make. And Ingrid, I have really stalked that pattern and looked at so many Ingrids on Ravelry. It's been ridiculous. But she's going to get a lot of wear. This is another one made in Chris colorway. And this is not helical knitting. And I have tried the helical knitting with the Chris, and it is not worth the trouble because it still does this pooling some. It's just a little bit more stripy. I have another cowl going, and it's just really not worth the trouble of doing the helical for me. That other cowl is in a different pattern, so it may, it's not very far along. I don't know if I'll finish it or just make another couple of these. So I do love the Chris colorway. I think it's pretty. And once you have it on, it's going to get smooshed up anyway. It's not going to show all that color pulling as much. And then I did a solid one. Semi-solid. This one's Winter Lake. I have a navy shirt that I think that will look nice with this. It'll definitely look nice with jeans. But all three of those are in Rios. I feel like I sped through this. Well, I hope you come back. I can't think of anything else that I have to share today. It is Sunday. I think it is the 26th, maybe? Yeah, I don't know. It's September. It's still September. So maybe the 27th. I don't know. I know the date when I'm working, and I'm not working today, so I don't have to know. It's day to relax and knit. Get some more WIPlash. WIPlash. You'll never hear any intro or outro music here, I don't think, because I just am not up for it. I'm not a techie, and I don't plan to do a bunch of editing on here. I'm going to clip the ends of my video and the very beginning and put in my little pictures, and that's about it. I will talk to you guys again soon, I hope. You can probably expect to hear from me every 2 to 4 weeks. This will probably not be a weekly deal. I do make a lot of progress on my WIPs, but you're going to see the same ones over and over again, unless I dig one out of the abyss. One that I don't feel like working on right now. So have a great week. Bye for now.